Members of the jury, it is now my duty to instruct you on the principles that govern your consideration of the evidence concerning film photography. You must evaluate the testimony and exhibits fairly, impartially, and without bias or speculation. The fact that a photograph was created using film rather than digital technology does not by itself make the image more or less reliable. Your task is to determine what weight, if any, should be given to the photographs admitted into evidence. In considering the photographs, you may take into account the manner in which the film was handled, developed, stored, and presented. You may consider testimony regarding lighting, exposure, camera settings, processing methods, and whether the images accurately depict the scene or subject as claimed. You may also consider whether any alterations, distortions, or defects occurred during development or printing. The credibility of witnesses who testified about the photographs is for you alone to determine. You should carefully examine all the evidence together and decide the facts based solely upon the evidence and the laws I have instructed you. You are not required to accept a photograph merely because it's been introduced into evidence. Like all evidence, photographs should be examined with care and weighted according to your own judgment and experience. You may consider the clarity of the image, the angle from which it was taken, the conditions present when it was captured, and whether the photograph fairly and accurately represents what it purports to show. If you find that a photograph has been affected by shadows, motion blur, improper exposure, or limitations inherent in film photography, you may consider those factors in determining the reliability and significance of the image. You should also remember that photographs alone do not necessarily establish every fact in dispute. It's your responsibility to consider the photographs together with all testimony, exhibits, and other evidence presented during the trial. In reaching your verdict, you must apply the law faithfully, deliberate honestly with one another, and render a verdict that reflects your careful and impartial consideration of all the evidence before you today in this courtroom, during these proceedings, and throughout deliberations together. Members of the jury, you must judge this case with calm minds and fair judgment. You must not let pity, anger, fear, or bias affect your view of this evidence. Your task is to weigh each photograph and each witness with care and good sense. Film photographs may show scenes clearly or contain flaws caused by light, motion, or damage. You may consider how the film was stored, developed, printed, and shown during this trial. If witnesses disagree about the meaning of photographs, you must decide which testimony deserves belief. You must accept all, part, or none of any witness statement given during these proceedings. No single photograph alone decides this case because all evidence must be reviewed together carefully. During deliberations, each juror should speak honestly, listen closely, and treat fellow jurors with respect. You should discuss differing opinions calmly and fairly while working toward a lawful, unanimous verdict. Your verdict must rest only upon evidence admitted in court and the legal instructions provided. After careful review of all testimony, exhibits, and photographs, you should reach a just verdict. This case concerns photographs said to show events from a late, warm autumn evening near the old train depot beside the river, where several witnesses placed the defendant. During the trial, you heard testimony about dim streetlights, wet pavement, and shadows cast across buildings. You also reviewed film photographs taken shortly after midnight by officers who arrived at the scene following reports of loud voices and broken glass near the loading platform that night. Some witnesses described the photographs as clear and accurate, while others questioned the lighting and focus. It remains your duty to decide what weight, if any, each photograph deserves during deliberations. You may consider weather conditions, camera distance, timing, and whether film was later developed properly. No single witness or photograph alone determines the truth because all evidence must be considered. During deliberations, you should discuss testimony, listen carefully, and treat fellow jurors with fairness. Your verdict must rest solely upon admitted evidence, reasonable judgment, and the legal instructions provided. After careful review, you should return a fair, lawful, and unanimous verdict based upon this evidence. Members of the jury, your talk should now begin with calm thought and fair judgment today here. You heard proof about wet streets, bright squad lights, nasty smells, and loud shouts near the docks tonight. Some witnesses spoke of a dark path beside the old mill near the riverbank. You saw film prints with cracked glass, torn boxes, and long shadows cast across the cold ground late that night during the acts described here before this court and these trial proceedings today. Each juror should share clear views while still staying open to fair debate with others. No juror should shame firm beliefs just because other jurors hold quite different views during talks today. At the same time, each juror should hear all views with care and respect in full. Your verdict, whether guilty or not guilty, must show the shared judgment of the entire jury together. You should avoid guesswork, fear, anger, bias, or outside talk when weighing all the proof shown carefully. When your review ends, your foreperson should tell the bailiff once full agreement has been reached.